Let's move on to our next topic. Enes Hokum in Ukraine and Russia, peace negotiations. Trump had described Zelensky as a dictator who doesn't hold elections and stated that if things continue like this, Zelensky will have no country left. Zelensky was asked. He said, "I didn't take it personally because I don't consider myself a dictator." He affirmed, "I am in a battle for the sake of my nation." And afterward, the most recent proclamation by NATO caught attention. He declared, "I am ready to resign in exchange for NATO membership." Trump had made a statement in Ukraine saying elections should be held. Ukrainian President Zelensky recently met with the British Prime Minister and actually received full support from there as well. Let me also mention the British Prime Minister's statement before I hand it over to you, Professor. He said that the UK has unwavering support for Ukraine. A statement was made expressing determination to achieve a just and lasting peace to end the illegal war. It was emphasized that Ukraine must be at the heart of any negotiation, meaning it should not be excluded from the table. And it was also emphasized that deterring Russia's future attacks is crucial in order to prevent further instances. There is full support from the UK for Ukraine. What do you think? How will this process progress?
Now, of course, the position of England is not surprising because from the beginning of this war, even before that, there has been serious tension between England and Russia. The English believe that Russia, in order to create harmony and restraint, our efforts must focus on balance and moderation. And they have been openly supporting Ukraine from the start. Now, of course, after Trump came to power, he began to make very harsh interventions. And the plan he put forward regarding Ukraine, the plan takes into account almost all of Russia's demands and is almost finalized. Actually gives Russia a great victory with the conditions Trump has set forth. Now, of course, this has greatly disturbed Europe, the entire European continent. Because if the war ends like this, Europe will bear the entire cost of the war. Russia will emerge from this war with a victorious demeanor despite significant losses. And Europe will face a more emboldened Russia, and naturally, they perceive this as a serious threat. Professor,
can we then say this? Zelensky is accepting surrender conditionally?
Time. Now, of course, Zelensky is talking about NATO membership. NATO membership means that Ukraine, one way or another, part of it may be taken by Russia, but the remaining part joining NATO. It means coming under NATO's security umbrella. After that, Russia cannot touch whatever is left of Ukraine in any way. This directly concerns us too, of course, because we are also a NATO member. However, I don't think the US will accept this. The United States. Trump, of course, opened his hand so high with these statements. I think he is pressuring European leaders and Europe. The newspaper did the same thing, you know. Initially, there were statements like the Palestinians should leave, let Egypt take them, let Jordan take them. Now, they started saying, let the Arab states solve this issue. I think they are doing the same thing in Ukraine. I think they are trying to draw European countries, European states into the field against Russia because they believe the US should not be too distracted in these areas. But what Trump is saying is this: you want to fight against Russia? Then let's get you in the ring. Let's see you face Russia. Let's see how you measure up. Now, of course, these statements have put Europe on alert. I was in Berlin last week. There was a panel organized by the Directorate of Communications called A More Just World is Possible. And there, we were together with retired German ambassadors, diplomats, politicians, and we participated in workshops with them. And there I saw this. For the first time, Europe, especially Germany, truly feels helpless. Today, after the elections, Merz, the leader of the Christian Democratic Party, who is expected to become Germany's new chancellor, said they are being pressured by both Russia and the USA. And he actually stated that they want to build a Europe that is more independent from the USA, that they are compelled to do so. Maybe Trump wants to do this. I mean, go ahead. Until today, you have lived under the security umbrella we provided. You have prospered from it. Now the time has come to pay for it, he tells the Europeans. Do you want money? not just money. Not just money, but allocate more budget to armament. These weapons, of course, 5% is a lot. Where will these weapons be purchased from, sir? Most of these will be sold by the Americans anyway. They're selling gas on one hand to the European Union, to Europe, but on the other hand, they might withdraw their troops from the European continent to a large extent and shift them to the Asia Pacific. So they're saying, I'll withdraw my troops, you will defend yourselves, set up your army accordingly. Here is Russia in front of you. If you don't do what I say, I'll pull out. I think they're saying, I'll give Russia whatever it wants and you'll have to deal with it. And of course, Zelensky's position here, Ukraine's position, is very weak. I mean, Ukraine, unfortunately, with the support given by the Westerners, especially the support given by the USA, and particularly with the funds provided after the Cold War, it was a country that was transformed and attempted to be transformed through projects. But there was a significant Russian minority, and Russia itself claims that there were promises made to it, especially at the end of the Cold War, which you know were given to Russia when the Soviet Union was collapsing. Particularly regarding the Eastern European countries not joining NATO, but they all joined NATO. When the possibility of Ukraine joining NATO emerged from the Russian perspective, not that I justify this invasion, but the situation escalated and Russia intervened there. Now, however, Russia will emerge from this entire war with a great sense of triumph. Of course, this is not a good thing from our perspective either. I mean, Russia's in the Black Sea. Expanding its coastal strip is not a good thing from our perspective either. You see, while Zelensky was meeting with the US and Russia in Riyadh and other European states were gathering in Paris, he came to Istanbul and now he has come to Ankara, as you know, to meet with the president. European leaders are also expecting Turkey's intervention and support on this issue. And they have currently taken a much more positive stance towards Turkey. In the new equation, where the US will not be as committed to Europe's security, of course, they are very much dependent on Turkey. Therefore, I think there will be more positive statements from Europe, from the European Union towards Turkey, especially in terms of increased cooperation in the defense industry, and perhaps a period where the customs union will be modernized again.
Okay.